always been very analytical, and I had decided that after much investigation and thinking and thought process that it was very unlikely that there was a God at all. And it wasn't something that just occurred to me. It took years of just doubt and sort of creeping in and thinking about it. And I realized after a while that that was sort of the belief that I had come to, was that there was no God. You know, during law school, I went through a really rough sort of transitional time. And I've always been into music. I've always really enjoyed it. And I found myself thinking, I don't know how I got here. I don't know even how I got to law school. Do I even want to be doing this? You know, I was thinking to myself, should I be playing music? You know, I really feel more comfortable doing that. Do I really want to be practicing law my whole life? And at the same time that I really was having these thoughts, God started popping back up into my mind. I don't know why, but just, you know, more and more and more, it started popping back up again. God, if you're there, show me. You know, show me that you're there, that there's a reason to believe despite all of these doubts and all of this stuff. This buddy of mine, we're, you know, study partners, and we were in this class together, tax law. And it really was, you know, probably for me the hardest class that I ever took in law school. And I was convinced that I was going to do terrible, you know, by the time the final rolled around. And it was right around that time when the final was rolling around, when I was also going through all of these things. So we're up all night studying, and we decided about 4 a.m., I think, that we were going to take a break. And we rolled over to Krispy Kreme Donuts on Broad Street, which is still there, although it looks different inside. And we walk up, I walk inside, and sitting over to my left was a homeless gentleman. His legs, he didn't have any legs, and he was in a wheelchair. And he was probably, you know, about 8 feet away from me, and he was sort of babbling incoherently and wasn't making any sense. Very abrupt, shouting things, sporadic. Some of it didn't sound like English, but you know, you couldn't make any sense of it. And so we walked up to place our order, and I wasn't in there for about 20 seconds before he swiveled his head around, looked right at me, and he said, immediately he said, "You play the guitar." And it stopped me, you know, just dead in my tracks. And I stopped, and I looked right at him, and I said, "How do you know that?" And he says, just disregards what I said, and he says, "Everything is going to be fine for you. Everything is going to work out. You'll always be able to play the guitar, and you'll be able to do anything else as well at the same time. You're going to be fine." I walked out and I said, did you see what just happened?" And his response was, "Yeah, that was kind of weird." And I said, "Kind of weird? God just talked to me. That's what I think." And he sort of nodded and said, "Well, that's an explanation." I said, "An explanation? Give me another explanation for what just happened." And he kind of sat there and said, "Well, I guess I don't have one, but yeah, that was kind of weird. Are we going to go study?" And I said, "No, I'm done studying. God just talked to me." You know, I know my story is it's a weird story. And, you know, I probably wouldn't believe it still to this day because it was so strange what happened to me. I think that faith is having the distinct possibility that there is no God occur to you and be very present in your mind, and to have God help you through that and to get around it and to choose, you know, despite that, despite what media tells you, what people tell you, you know, what everything in society nowadays tells you, to step beyond that and to choose to believe that God is real.